ladies and gentlemen, look like they got low sperm count in China too. Sperm count dropped in China. The fertility business boom. So everybody is flocking to get fertility treatment. So I guess that's the business to get in, y'all. We need to look in that direction. Fertility treatment. See, think fertility treatment. You know, those businesses are booming, and it don't matter if they still can't have babies. You got all that money and they still can't have a baby after the fertility treatment. Y'all, we got to get in this business. we got to flock in that business. Okay. On a recent afternoon, and this is the Financial Review website, on a recent afternoon, a visitor from northern China took a smoke break outside the Beijing Perfect Family Hospital. Cigarettes were one reason he had come to the capital. He reckons his nicotine habit played a part in damaging his fertility. The 38-year-old construction businessman, who asked to be identified by his last name, Zhang, worked hard to build a business with his wife, who was 35. But when they were finally ready to have kids, it was a struggle. So the Zhangs became one more couple among millions of Chinese to turn to an assisted reproductive health market that has the potential to be about $15 billion. Wow. A paradox has emerged in China. As the country finally relaxes its one-child policy, factors like low sperm counts, later pregnancies, and other health barriers are making it harder for many to get pregnant. As a result, businesses from China to Australia and even California are lining up to help and profit from the growing market of hopeful prospective parents. Families in the world's most populous countries are willing to pay top dollar for fertility therapies. Zhang said his package for IVF, or in vitro fertilization, was 100,000 yuan for each round. Wow. For each time you have in vitro done, it's $14,700. Woo, y'all, we got to get in this business. We got to get in this business, y'all, or at least invest in it. It's not like we know this is really the end, y'all. We already know that, but they don't know this. They think they can be saved. Now that our economic conditions are better, we all want children, but it's hard for a lot of us, he said, puffing on his second cigarette. All the years of smoking and drinking and business dinners take a toll. It's difficult for me and my wife to conceive naturally, and we need help. For decades, couples in urban China were only allowed to have one child. But the country, which is trying to boost its shrinking workforce, now allows two. China's market for IVF alone is worth $670 million in 2016 and is expected to surge to $1.5 billion in 2022, according to BIS research, assuming that 65% of infertile couples choose to seek treatment. The total assisted reproductive health market could someday be worth 107 billion yuan, using an average cost of as much as 40,000 yuan. Broker firm Huang Security estimates. So they already have low birth rate. They've messed themselves up with the one child rule. Now the men outnumber the women by a large margin. Now they also, on top of that, got low sperm count, and many couples in China cannot have babies naturally. Woo, now that's a mess. That's a mess, y'all. Sperm counts dropped very significantly from 100 million in the early 1970s to as low as 20 million in 2012 in China, according to Yangzheng Huang, Senior Fellow for Global Health at the Council on Foreign Relations. The higher stress levels accompanying economic development, pollution, late marriage, and late childbirth, smoking, and alcohol use could be contributing factors, he says. So just like America, they're blaming it on everything except for their genetics. Just like America, y'all. Exactly like America. A study in central China showed that only about 18% of those tested had healthy enough semen to be sperm donors in 2015. That number had been 56% in 2001. So it went from 56% in 2001 and they're only 18% now. Wow. According to the study published this year in the medical journal, Fertility and Sterility. Many Chinese women, meanwhile, are choosing to have children later as they pursue their careers. Yet the desire to have biological children looms large, and that's driving demand for services like IVF. Virtus Health in Australia, company that offers fertility treatments, receive regular approaches from Chinese firms looking for partnerships. Man, don't partner up with no Chinese people. they may come and try to take your whole land. But getting a local license is difficult. So Virtus works with medical tourism agencies in China that help patients get to its Australia and Singapore clinics. It has Chinese-speaking fertility specialists, scientists, and nurses, and its websites are translated into Chinese, according to the firm Chief Executive Officer, Sue Shannon. Thousands of kiloliters away, Mark Surrey, co-founder and medical director of the Southern California Reproductive Center in Beverly Hills, says about 20% of its patients came from China over the past year. Wow. There are increasing numbers of people in China who have the socioeconomic means to choose what kind of reproductive technology that they would like, Surrey says. Among other services, the Center California-based clinic offers tests to learn the gender of the embryo. Such services can be particularly attractive to patients from mainland China, where gender selection is banned. Yeah, because y'all want to discard it if it's a girl. You know, China's still practicing that. They're still aborting girls and trying to keep boys. You would think that they would want to turn things around. They're not even turning things around. I read that. That's still going on big time. All right. So it just looks like the men are struggling, just like the Western men, to get their women pregnant. They can't do it, ladies and gentlemen. They need all kinds of treatment and help in order to do this. As you can see, China is no different than America when it comes down to low sperm and low birth rate. Looks like the Eastern and the Western nations are suffering at the same time. Same problem. But please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.